Hello, and another blockchain is under attack. This time it's our favorite privacy coin, Monero. And who would attack it? Well, it's like the former IOTA guy that's actually attacking it. Now, he's trying to spin it as he's a benevolent attacker, trying to find ways to fix these problems. But then he did admit a while earlier that he was trying to take over the Monero blockchain and trying to orphan all the other blocks that were actually produced that were not produced by him. So let's actually take a look at the vulnerability. And yes, this is a vulnerability that all proof of work chains have. So Monero is facing a controversial, economically powered hash rate takeover. So no one is hacking the chain, but someone is trying to do a hostile takeover. And it's by Cubic, a mining pool and crypto network led by IOTA co-founder Sergey Ivanchenko. So privacy-focused Monero is facing what appears to be an attempted network takeover by former top mining pool Cubic, prompting community backlash and concerns over hash rate centralization. Now, for my part, you can't actually do much over hash rate centralization because anyone can just get a bunch of computers and mine this coin. And of course, if you have enough hash rate, then you will control 51%. As of today, Cubic had fallen from the top spot on the Monero mining pool, rankings to 7th, according to mining pool stats, after the community noticed the pool looked to be openly performing a network takeover. So the community essentially ditched Cubic, but if they didn't notice, Cubic might have actually been successful in the attack, which would actually lead to them orphaning the other blocks and screwing the entire blockchain. So it was an attempted attack, and it got pwned. So this was at the end of last month. In a June 30th blog post, Cubic revealed, so they actually told people that it had begun incentivizing Monero CPU mining via its own network. So essentially, like, they gave out rewards for mining Monero, which obviously incentivized people to mine more Monero, thus giving them more mining power. The mined XMR would then be used to fund buybacks and token burns for the Cubic ecosystem. So they're using the XMR that they actually mined, and then they would use those to actually fund their own ecosystem they're developing. Cubic miners now perform real-world tasks, Monero mining, that generate real market value but might actually hurt Monero, which in turn strengthens the Cubic economy. Sergey Ivanchenko, founder of the crypto projects Cubic, NXT, and IOTA, has admitted that his Cubic network was staging a takeover of the Monero network. In a recent X post, he said that after getting control of most of the network's hash rate, Cubic would reject blocks mined by other pools. Does not sound good, folks, does not sound good, but it is something that you can actually do. A lot of people were asking how Cubic was planning to do sustained 51%, so come from beyond on Twitter. A lot of people were asking how Cubic was planning to do sustained 51% domination over Monero if 50% of Cubic mining time must be spent on AI Garth tasks. First, I was answering, let's make a surprise to XMR miners, but then I realized that the cryptocurrency community would benefit from transparency because XMR miners might find a countermeasure, thus improving game theoretical attacks and defenses in crypto. So here is the next phase of the plan, activated after reaching 51%. So this is what an attacker would actually do. Go to stealth mode. This includes changing the XMR address and stopping reporting hash rate on the internet. Assessment of real hash rate by analyzing Cubic network traffic may be impossible. By encrypting XMR shares and flooding the market with fake packets, definitely doable. Make switching into XMR mining unpredictable by any entity except dispatcher, orphan blocks of other miners, and that obviously is 100% doable. As one can see, this method reduces revenue of mining not via Cubic twofold and only botnet masters, and those mining in mom's basement will continue mining XMR directly in such conditions because it doesn't really affect them. This would lead to XMR becoming only profitable or even effective on the Cubic pool. Still, given the pool's falling hash rate, the danger may be declining because people have discovered that Cubic was doing this. They dropped out of the hash pool, and so the danger is actually declining. In Monday's X post, Ivanchenko suggested that from next Wednesday, the Cubic mining pool would stop reporting its hash rate. So obviously, he's trying to come at this like he's a good guy. He's a white hat hostile takeover person. I know that doesn't make sense, but just work with me here. And he's trying to kind of imitate this so they can stop people from doing this in the future. I personally think that's a little BS. I think he's just trying to basically take it over. And when he failed taking it over, he's trying to make excuses. In his post, Cheglo claimed he was trying to find a countermeasure to the very attack that he was orchestrating. Yeah, so that doesn't really convince me. He said that it was important to the cryptocurrency industry because one day we all may face a non-benevolent attack. So he's trying to frame himself as a benevolent attacker. Now, I don't really believe this because, yeah, I don't think so. But he did actually tell people like a little bit of what he was doing. So he might actually be sort of telling the truth. So he said in a separate X post that comments discussing his presumed location in Belarus had circulated on the Monero subreddit. I guess maybe someone's trying to call out a hit on him. I hope not. You don't want this to devolve into violence. I hope the head bounty won't be collected in XMR to avoid creating incentive to drop its price to 0, he said. So obviously he's like, hey, if you like headhunt me, I'll just drop it to 0. So essentially like the Anon coin got attacked. The Monero community did not appreciate it. Someone might have put a hit out on him, which you never really should do for anyone. And he's trying to frame it as like, he's a good guy, which I don't think people actually believe. So yeah, I don't really know what you guys think about that, but this is a weak point for all proof of work coins. It's not going to go away anytime soon, but it looks like the danger from Monero is kind of over right now. But it could actually surface in the future, especially if one of these mining pools starts not actually reporting the hash rate. So gotta watch out for that. The other piece of good news is that PayPal is expanding its crypto payment options for merchants, and it's going to allow them to accept over 100 cryptocurrencies. Now, I'm not jumping for joy at this because there were like other services that allowed people to accept crypto for payments, and none of those actually went anywhere. This new service is called Pay with Crypto, not that creative of a name, but whatever, is initially available to U.S. merchants and aims to simplify cross-border payments, reduce transaction fees, and other faster payouts. It supports transactions across more than 100 cryptocurrencies and wallets, including Coinbase and MetaMask, and provides access to a global user base of over 650 million crypto users. PayPal's new service is designed to make it easier for businesses to accept payments from customers around the world, regardless of the preferred crypto. By leveraging cryptocurrency, merchants can potentially lower transaction fees compared to traditional payment methods like credit cards. Merchants can receive near instant payments in fiat currency after a customer pays with crypto. So it's not true crypto payment, in my opinion. It's basically like you pay with crypto, it gets converted into fiat, and then the merchant accepts fiat. It's like all the others. I don't think many people will actually use this, unfortunately, because most people use crypto as a way to get rich, and I don't really see that changing. It does support multiple wallets, so merchants can receive payments from a wide range of cryptocurrency wallets, including those from Coinbase and MetaMask, according to Adweek. While accepting various cryptocurrencies, PayPal is also promoting its own stablecoin, PYUSD, allowing merchants to earn rewards for holding PYUSD with PayPal and potentially reducing transaction fees. The Pay with Crypto service is initially being rolled out to U.S. merchants with plans for wider availability later. Businesses can operate into a beta version. So because it's PayPal and PayPal is really big, I do see this bigger than the other services that like Stripe that have actually offered. But I still don't really see much of a advantage to this. I don't think people are going to use their crypto to pay for stuff because crypto is really not for that right now. It's for like generational wealth or whatever people call it. So I hope that some people do start using this because crypto does actually need a use case like this. It does include Coinbase and MetaMask, so that will help people. But once again, like, I just really want the merchants to actually accept the crypto and not convert the crypto into something else, which they inevitably are doing. I don't blame the merchants for doing that because you're a merchant, you have operating costs, obviously, and you need to pay bills, and the bills are only accepted in USD. So I 100% understand why you would actually only accept USD. I'm just hoping that, there's some kind of workaround for that where you can actually accept other forms of crypto payment, but that seems rather unlikely as of right now. So yeah, not super excited about this, but because it is PayPal, I don't think it's nothing. I do think it's something, but I also don't think it's like something major at this point. If like people actually start using it in droves, I could see it. If merchants actually accepted crypto as payment on their side, I could see it. But right now, I just don't really see it as something like massively major. that could actually impact use case in the crypto industry. All of you know that Trump signed the EU deal, and it seems like a good deal for the US, but the markets didn't go up. Why is that? Very simple answer, because businesses realize that these trade deals are actually not a win for them. It's still going to make things for them more expensive, and it will make things for Americans more expensive. It will generate some tariff-based revenues, but it will reduce overall trade between the United States and the rest of the world. And there are a couple of things like, airplanes, chemicals, and stuff that are going to be completely exempt from the tariff. But nonetheless, it does provide some kind of stability in the future, assuming that like his tariffs don't get rendered obsolete by the courts, which they could. He already lost a case in the district court. Now it's going through appeals. And I think the strategy for some of these countries is just to wait it out until the courts declare it unconstitutional, because there is real challenges to like how far the president's power can extend in regards to tariffs. Can he just declare random emergencies to do whatever he wants in the country? So there are real questions on what he can actually do. And I think some of these countries are just playing the slow game because they know that the ratification of this stuff will take a long time, and they're hoping like the time on his tariffs will actually expire out. Some of the countries are probably just like signing this deal, offering the U.S. some kind of incentives that they never really expect to pay, because they know the U.S. political cycle works in 4-year chunks, and they're going to wait them out before they like really commit any money. I really think that's what Japan's doing with their like so-called investment. And the Japanese prime minister has actually like disagreed with the basically like investing $550 billion at Trump's discretion. He says like that was really never part of the contract. So there's definitely like finer details of the agreement to actually be worked out before they sign the actual contract. So right now on these big business deals, like none of the contracts have been signed. It's a framework, and they're negotiating and actually like signing the actual contract. Other countries in Trump's last term have actually promised us like, hundreds of millions or hundreds of billions of dollars. We haven't really seen too much of that. And I think they're trying to play us the same way this time, but at least we're getting some kind of stability for the trade war. But businesses don't like it because it is actually making their costs go up, which will eventually roll down to us. I don't think these trade deals actually help get the interest rate to come down, because since they're going to make things more expensive, inflation is going to go up at least temporarily, and that will prevent Jerome Powell from cutting too much. I still hopefully see one cut in September, but I do not see a cut this time in July. So looking at the charts once again on TradingView, we're at 117.984. The MACD has definitely swung negative. I'm hoping it swings positive again soon so we can keep the rally going. The 50 and the 200 MA is actually giving me a lot of hope, because the 200 MA, the 50 MA is still climbing higher than the 200 MA. I don't really see that taking a turn for the worse right now, but I do think within the next couple of weeks, we do need a breakthrough from 120. The fact that we are staying very, very close to 120, 118, 119 is very good news for Bitcoin, and very good news this weekend. Ethereum did actually get to a new local high at about 3,900. BNB obviously got to a new all-time high, and BNB is doing extremely well. And when Ethereum gets to a new all-time local high, that generally precedes a pump for the rest of the crypto market. So I do have some hope that we're going to keep pumping this week into next week. Ethereum ERC is still continuously going up against Bitcoin, and I think that actually bodes well for the rest of the crypto market. So I'm hoping we take the next leg up. I'm hoping a lot of the coins, especially the ones that haven't pumped, will actually start pumping, and I think there's a decent chance in doing so. Because Ethereum, let's say, is only about 20% off, less than 20%, well, about 20% off from its all-time high. And I believe that, within a month or two, Ethereum can actually achieve its all-time high. There is still more increased demand for the Ethereum ETF right now, and I'm hoping those inflows will keep pumping Ethereum. And that's really what is making Ethereum basically rise against Bitcoin. I know a lot of the other coins that don't have ETFs yet aren't really keeping up with Ethereum right now, but a lot of the top coins will actually get ETFs soon, in October, I believe, and I think that will help the rest of the market. It might take a while because I don't know how much demand there is going to be for those ETFs, and there's going to be dozens of them that come out in the market at the same time. It might be kind of like saturating the market, but we'll actually see. I think there's going to be some demand, maybe not too much demand, but I think overall it will definitely help the altcoin market. So that's kind of my view on it. Still looking towards October. Don't think these trade deals are going to move the needle too much. I do think they're going to prevent rate cuts. And hopefully by October, all this goes away. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.